So for me, balance, and when I think about the last year, and obviously we're coming to the end of this year, when I started the course, I'm working, I had my studies to do, I had family commitments, loads of stuff to kind of balance, loads of plates to keep spinning. And what I quickly learned was, and again, this was a really good advice from tutors, was when you had things like exams or projects that seemed so far in the future because you maybe had 12 weeks to complete it, or 8 weeks, do small pieces of that along the way, incorporate that into your week, even if it's like seems miles away that you have to hand it in or submit it. Break it down and include that in your that week there, so that before you know it, you've kind of built it up and it's complete in time. The other thing I would say is the things that you enjoy, you love, whether it's reading, music, socialising. I made sure that I included that in my planning and organising for the week. So that was just as important as maybe some reading work I had to do for college or my shift at work. I would make sure that there was time, because I felt that I learned and I was at my best when I'd had enough sleep, when I had broken the work down, and I was quite confident in what had to be done where. And I'd also participated in the things that made me feel relaxed and made me feel good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The key word is balance. And I found that for me, trying to plan what I needed to do was quite important. But I also had to be quite realistic and honest with myself. So, for example, if I'm trying to plan something, be realistic about what you can achieve. If you don't expect to say, well, I'm going to go and knock out this whole piece of work, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. If it's unachievable, because you'll just get discouraged and find it, you're defeating the object of making the plan. Also, trying to work out for me things like timing, like the time of the day. And I know not everybody would be able to have, as much flexibility as other people. But I found that, on the days when I'm doing college work, I'm more productive if I do it in the morning. And so I will always try and do it in the morning. I know that if I come back to it later in the evening, it's not going to be as good quality. The next day I'm going to look at it and I'm not going to be happy with what I've done. So I don't bother, because I just know it's going to be, it's not well used time. So trying not to sort of overreach yourself, I think is important.
Yeah, definitely, Richard, I would say. I think it's important as well about that bit of resilience and being able to pull yourself back. So it's natural, and we all go through like phases within the year where you get sidetracked or you get a bit deflated or demotivated. And for me, one of the things that helped me in that situation was whenever I got a task or a project or something that we were to do, I would find the thing within that would help me on my journey, whether it be I'm going to have increased knowledge on that topic, that's going to help me with my research skills, that's going to help me with my presentation skills. I would look for the things that would kind of allow me to grow as a student within that project, and that kind of was an incentive for me to keep pushing on. But even if when you first look at it on the paper you thought, how am I going to get this done, this doesn't jump out at me here, I don't have an interest in it, find something within it that grabs your interest, and that should kind of get you moving on. That worked for me anyway.
I think that's a really good idea. I'll admit that that's something that not something that I'd done and not something that I'd thought of. So, but I can really see how that would be useful. But I guess in a similar vein to talking about the support and things as well, I think one of the things in terms of the balance there that we were just talking about has been doing things like bouncing ideas off other people within the group, or talking to the tutors for the particular unit or subject. If you feel like something's getting out of control or you're not quite sure where to focus, just asking people, and you'll get other people's ideas or views, and and then that becomes, it's more useful use of time, rather than just sitting for an hour staring at a screen or a piece of paper or a book, wondering what to do. How to start. Message one of your classmates or one of the tutors or something and talk about these things. And I found for me, when I've had trouble, when I've veered off track, that was how I was able to get brought back.
That's a really good point, Richard, about communication. Just sending that email, even to your lecturer or somebody, to say, this is how I feel. It's okay to feel the way you feel, and we all kind of dip into different feelings throughout the year, but it's about kind of maintaining that communication, and that in itself kind of helps you get past certain hurdles.
Yeah, and that's part of the same thing. It goes back to the thing we were talking about in expectations. The learning is about the journey and the process. So when I've got disheartened because I've thought I can't do something, it's actually trying to reframe my thoughts to say what I'm supposed to be doing is, expanding my knowledge and my skills, and coming at it from a slightly different angle.
No, definitely.